Are we back up? Tony?
Tony's here. I was waiting for Mr. Jackson to come back in. So we want to start. I'll just finish where he left off.
Mr. Jackson is trying to get in right now. I just sent him, excuse me, I just sent him the password, so he should be back in shortly. There he is.
So as Mr. Jackson was saying, the supply schedules are pre-negotiated contracts, and we allow contractors to make sure that we have these services put in place. It helps us to lead a shorter procurement lead time. And it's going to help to speed up the services that the departments are in need of. Next slide. So with the supply schedule contracts, they are 5-year terms. Again, they are approved by City Council for 5 years. In the beginning of Q1 of 2019, City Council approved the first supply schedule, which was ground maintenance. This schedule covers landscaping, tree cutting, weeds and brush control. We have suppliers that are actively working on that schedule now. The supply schedule has a goal to have 10 different schedules. As I said, we had ground maintenance, janitorial services is our second supply schedule, guard services, facilities maintenance, medical services, moving and relocation are other services that we're trying to have as supply schedules. And with those schedules, again, 30% of the business is set aside for Detroit-based businesses. Next slide. Next slide. In each of these areas, we've set aside projected spend for 5 years. Schedule 1, ground maintenance, we set aside $50 million. Schedule 2 for janitorial and custodial services, there's $43 million set aside. Schedule 3, facilities management services, $65 million. Schedule 4, guard services, $20 million has been set aside. Schedule 5, demolition services, $69 million. Schedule 6, professional services, $347 million. Schedule 7, moving and relocation services, $4 million. Clothing and uniforms, $8 million. Fire security, law enforcement, $8 million. And medical equipment and supplies, $25 million. Next slide. Under the first schedule, ground services, as I was explaining, that covers mowing, edging, tree planting. We will have someone who actually has a contract in that area to help you understand how to get your business started up in that area. Next schedule. Next slide. Janitorial services is another major one. At this time, up under janitorial services, we're looking for people to do services as far as cleaning our offices. We're looking for deep sanitation cleaning, people that can come in with the COVID-19 that can assist us and make sure that the areas have been cleaned properly. We're looking for people to do cleaning of the buses for DDOT transportation. This would also cover like bay floor cleaning services, steam and pressure cleaning as well. Next slide. We are also looking for security guard services. Hello?
An emergency alert.
It's from the governor.
Next slide.
From the governor's office, the state of Michigan has extended the stay home, stay safe order until April 30th to save lives. Non-essential travel has been prohibited, but you can still leave for health and safety reasons, groceries and food, outdoor activities, and caring for others. For additional guidance, see www.michigan.gov/cognitive-risk.
What are the qualifications to do business with the city? You must have the skills and ability to perform the services. You must have the required equipment. You must have trained and dependable staff. You must have the required licensing. You must have a project manager that can work with the departments so that you can interact as a partner with them. And we want you to have a valid driver's license in case you have to go to different facilities within the city of Detroit. The process for the supply schedule is we put our bid out on Oracle. There's an RFQQ competition. And in the RFQQ competition, that's where you have the opportunity to submit your qualifications to us. Once we receive your qualifications, those qualifications are then evaluated amongst our team. The evaluation committee determines that your qualifications meet the necessary requirements, and then we provide your information to City Council for approval. Once City Council approves you as a contractor that is able to provide the services that's required for the supply schedule, you will be placed on the supply schedule and receive a supply schedule agreement. Once you have a supply schedule agreement, that allows you to participate in quotes that are set aside for that business. Being a part of the supply schedule, competition for this is only limited to those that have been approved by City Council. So this is not open for other businesses to come and compete against you. Once you receive the award from the quote, it can be a multiple award. It doesn't mean that only one person will be required to do the service. We may be looking for multiple people, so there's multiple awards that can be done at this time. You'll receive a purchase order after that, and then you will be able to begin your services. Next slide. In order to register for our bids, you can go to www.detroitmi.gov/supplier. You will be able to put in all of your information there. You'll see our open bids on that site as well. And these bids for the Detroit supply schedule, they never close. So you can always submit your qualifications at any time. We still have to take you to Detroit City Council for approval, but it's something that never closes, so you can tell someone at any time they can submit their documents and we will receive them. If you, go back one. If you have any questions or issues uploading your information or with the registration, we do have support staff that is available to assist you. You can always reach out to procurement in the cloud at detroitmi.gov, or you can call 224-1500 if you need assistance with registration. Next slide. And again, all open bids can be found on www.detroitmi.gov/supplier. So, and my name is Tony Stewart Limit. If you have any questions, my phone number is 313-378-8362. I can be reached at limit, LIMMITTL, @detroitmi.gov. And so at this time, I would like to introduce a couple of the suppliers that work with us on the Detroit supply schedule and in the various areas that we are looking for people to provide service with. They will give you a little bit of information about their business and how you too can become a supplier or start up your business in these areas. So the first person that I'd like to introduce is Aaron from Detroit Grounds Crew. Can we mute Aaron? Aaron? Hello?
Can we unmute Aaron? Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Council President Jones.
Good afternoon, Aaron. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Councilmember Ayers, good afternoon to you and everyone else in the panel. Thank you. It's my pleasure, my privilege to be a part of the panel. representing Detroit Grounds Crew and some of the things that we do that Ms. Limit Stewart has featured us on. Thank you.
Aaron, do you want to tell a little bit about your company and how you got into janitorial services?
Sure. A little bit about, we've been doing business for the city of Detroit for 3.5 years. And as a result of COVID-19, our company was poised with personnel, with the staff, and with the systems in place and capital to deploy 80 people, hire and deploy 80 people to provide janitorial, deep sanitizing, and services, including on the 24 hours, 7 days a week on the DDOT buses. A major undertaking, very high exposure, and a lot of responsibility to ensure that both employees and the public are kept safe and without incident. And so we're very pleased and to continue to carry out this work effort for the city of Detroit. We look to continue. And Tony, I'd be happy to share with the panel, the guests, in terms of some of the techniques and what it takes for the listeners out there to start up and or shift or move their business. Because as it was explained by yourself and Mr. Jackson, there is plenty of capacity, plenty of opportunity for other small businesses.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Thank
The next person that I would like to introduce is Mrs. Jordan from J.E. Jordan Landscaping. She is a Detroit certified business company that is on the grounds maintenance supply schedule. Mrs. Jordan, would you like to give us a little bit of information about your company at this time?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We've been doing business with the city of Detroit since 2007. We started with snow removal, and ever since then, we make a contact with someone in that department that we're servicing, and we find out exactly what they need and what they require from us. And long as you have someone who will be your partner, your connection to tell you what we need, you can get it done because you have all the information. And after that, we went to tree removal, and we have grown with that by having excellent liaisons in the department who will help you with the information of what they require for that project to get it done. And we also do tree planting. So we have been truly blessed working with the city of Detroit, because you just have to find your contact person and get the information. We've been blessed to work with Latonia and just inviting us to the bids. But the first thing you need to do is find out exactly what the requirements are to do business with the city of Detroit. You have to find out what certifications you have, what they have presented in all the slideshows. You have to find out where you have to go to get that information, get that certification, get that license, get that clearance. Once you find out exactly what you need and where you need to go, the sky is the limit. It's up to you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Jordan. Up under our security needs, we have Fred Hall from H&P Protective Services. Mr. Hall, would you like to have an opportunity to give us a little bit of information about your business, please?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Limit. Good afternoon, Council President Jones and Councilman Ayers. It's good to see both of you.
Thank you, you too.
Well, we've been providing security for the last few years. We came in originally through Detroit Water and Sewage Department, and we were fortunate enough to start doing work for them, and that gave us opportunities to start providing services for other departments for the city of Detroit. Currently, we're actually at the COVID-19 site, Councilman Ayers, that you're at. I'm sure you've seen some of our people there, as well as a couple other sites. We're at the site on Humboldt, which is called the Thompson Center, which is a quarantine site, and also another recreation center, Williams Recreation Center. We have guards there too. We actually called on that on a very short notice. We received a call at 12:30 on a Friday, and they wanted us to start at 3 p.m. And you know, for someone who was born and raised in City Detroit, whose parents were born and raised in City Detroit, there was no way that we weren't going to answer that call. I'm still a resident of the City of Detroit, went to school here, and it's very important to me that we're a part of the process. And I look at the men and women who are providing service for the city and who work for our organization as heroes, because they could be sitting at home, watching TV, collecting unemployment, but they decided that yes, they're going to go to the front lines. And I will give credit to the city. The city is providing us with all the personal protection equipment that we need to be at those sites, which is very important. It's very important to me when we first talked with the city, and the help from the purchasing department. Tony Limit has been a tremendous help, not only with this, but through the process of getting on the supply schedule and getting certified. She's been a great resource, as well as her boss, Mr. Jackson. So I can't say enough about the support that the city has given us, the opportunities that they've provided. In terms of even payment, I've been in small business for a long time, and getting paid is very important. You want to pay your people, and they have been very good about that. There was a time years ago when the city of Detroit wasn't nearly as efficient as they are now, but when they say they're going to pay, they do pay. If it's net 30, net 15, whatever terms that you're given, they do pay in that time frame. So that's really I'd like to encourage everyone out there to try to get the certifications you need. Do work with the city of Detroit. They're very reliable, good opportunities for you are out there. We've been managing to take advantage of it. We've been fortunate enough to win a contract here and there and keep people working during this very tough time.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Okay, I think that concludes our panel. Does that conclude our panel, Tony?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Council President.
Okay, thank you so very much. So we're going to go to the portion of this meeting that gives you an opportunity to our callers to be able to ask questions and get responses from our panels. Before we do that, though, I would like to give a special shout out to our procurement director, Boise Jackson, and his team, who really have done a great job securing services and supplies to help address the city's efforts around COVID-19. And also, Boise has really done a great job in working with Councilmember Ayers and myself in assuring that our small businesses got involved and took advantage of what we had to offer in the city of Detroit. And so I really want to give a big shout out to him. I also would like to give a big shout out to CREO, which is our City of Detroit Department of Civil Rights, Inclusion, and Opportunity. They have also done an excellent job in working with us during the city's steady business growth. So we know that our small businesses are so important to the city of Detroit, and we realize that in order to get our residents working, that we have to support our small businesses in the city. So thank you, Councilmember Ayers. Thank you, Boise Jackson, and Member Ayers' staff, Mr. Jackson and his team, and CREO and their team, and thank you to my staff as well, because we have been working on this for quite some time to ensure that small businesses got their place and got their share in the city of Detroit. And so we're not finished yet. We're still working. We wanted to ensure that at least 30% of the dollars in the contracts went to our small businesses in the city of Detroit. So I cannot thank you all enough for working with Councilmember Ayers, myself, and our staffs in making sure that happened. So we're going to move on to the call-in portion. And Mr. Grady, thank you for standing by.
Oh, wait, Council President, I think we need to make sure that we let everybody know that if you want to ask a question, then you need to press *9, and that way we'll know who's raising their hand to ask a question.
Thank you, Councilmember Ayers, and I always say team effort.
That's right.
Council President
Ayers and myself have teamed in really great working together, and so thank you again, Councilmember Ayers. And again, also we're gonna end this portion at 5:45 so that we can move into the second portion of this, the third portion of the supply schedule. So we're gonna end this portion at 5:45 to begin to start at 6 p.m. on our second portion. And so,
Council President, Tony has one more thing that she needs to tell you about. We have our department reps here.
Excuse me. I want to,
take it away, Tony.
no, I wanted to say we do have department reps here for janitorial, landscaping, and security. So if any of the callers want to know like what type of scopes of work those departments are requesting, we do have them available on the call as well to answer any questions for them.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If we're ready for calls, we have 2 callers in our queue. Callers, I will call you by the last 3 digits of your telephone number. And our first caller is caller number 830. Caller number 830, your phone is unmuted.
Good afternoon. First, let me pay homage to Madam President Brenda Jones and Council Member Ayers and CFO Mr. Boise Jackson for putting this thing together. It's been I've been on the call since yesterday, and it's been so much great information that has been put out, and this is really going to help out a lot of small businesses. When I called in yesterday, I did ask a question, but today my question is, I understand that there's going to be 10% set aside for Detroit residents and Detroit-based businesses. Who would I contact, and what are the procedures that I would have to go to? Because I'm a 21-year veteran. I'm a service-disabled veteran small business owner. So I was just wondering if there's going to be some oversight for the veterans that have small businesses and are impacted by the COVID-19.
Can we unmute Mr. Jackson, please?
Okay, I think I'm unmuted now. Very good question.
They got these cheap ones, but I think dogs are gripping those up. Those ones like
If you haven't been called on, please put yourself on mute.
Okay. So to answer the gentleman's question, number one, let me clarify something that you asked up front. It's not 10%, it's 30%. So our goal is to award a minimum, and that's a minimum requirement that Council President Jones and Councilwoman Ayers has challenged us on. So it's way more than 10%. So we're clear on that because this is important. But to answer your questions, we are looking at the veterans. We respect the veterans. There are no current local preferences for them, but we do, regardless of the group that you're in, we still look at all of those bids and give everyone an equal chance. So whether the veteran organization, and they have come to see me and have had several presentations to me and council members. So we are kicking around what we could do. There is also a DBE requirement that we have in our Department of Transportation, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, that also looks at the veterans as well, if you're familiar with that distinction. Yes. So we do have targets and set aside on our Department of Transportation contracts that does include ultimately veterans, but we appreciate veterans and appreciate veterans companies. So you know, we're still pursuing and looking at it. Okay, but please still bid, and because you probably, other than just veteran, you probably fit some of these other categories: Detroit-based, Detroit residents, Detroit headquartered, etc.
Yeah.
So you still can get preference. Okay.
Okay, and the last one was so I corrected myself. I have it here in my notes. It was the 10% credit for. Could you explain the equalization of the 10% credit just a little bit more? Because I was trying to get a little clarification on that.
Yeah, let me cover it from a bid perspective, and Ariel wants to cover it from a certification preference. But
Okay.
let's talk about it in different areas, okay?
Okay.
Depending on the value of the contract, it determines whether you get a max of 5% or down to 1%. So the smaller the contract, the higher the percentage credit you get. But to give you a very good example, we had a small business that does demo for us. They get up to 12% on local preferences because what? Because they are headquartered in Detroit, they are based in Detroit, they hire 51% Detroit residents, and they qualify for being a small company. Detroit small business is a distinction based on your revenue that you generate 26 to 28 million or below. You can also be qualified as a Detroit micro business, meaning $1 million and less. And above all, this thing is so good in terms of supporting Detroit small businesses that the council women said that you can be a joint venture, meaning partner with someone else and form a joint venture, meaning that one of the two of you have to be a Detroit-based business, and you can get another 2% for that. So you can get, you know, a considerable amount of percentage points, local preferences as being a Detroit company and supporting Detroiters and hiring Detroiters, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Boyd. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much. Our next caller. Last 3 digits of your telephone number is 400. Caller 400, you are unmuted.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Mixon. I was on the call yesterday and will be on the call for the second portion today because this information is so good and it's so much needed by us all. So Council President Jones and Councilmember Ayers, thank you so much. And Mr. Jackson, and for all of those of you who are taking your time to spend time with us to share information with us today, I thank you so much. And
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
I have 2 questions. The first one is I've already submitted my certification application online through CREO, and I know a lot's been going on for the last, several weeks, and I submitted it on March the 4th. So can you kind of give me an idea of how long it will be before my certification process is completed with you guys and I actually receive my certification? Hello?
We're here. Mr. Jackson, are you taking that?
Yeah, is Ariel on still?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm on. What was the question?
The question was, how long does it take to get certification? She had submitted her certification information. She wants to know how long would it take for you all to certify her.
Oh, yes. So the part that takes the longest right now is the payment process. We're working on getting an online payment. And so that's the part that probably is going to prolong the longest. So not knowing how long you have been in a pipeline, you should be hearing back from somebody almost within 24 to 48 hours since you submitted your application. So you said you submitted it yesterday, or when was it submitted?
No, March 4th.
March 4th. Okay. I can check on that for you right now while we're on the call, and send me an email, and I'll follow up with you.
Can you give her an email address again?
Yep. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's Ariel, ARIELLE .Johnson @DetroitMI.gov.
Thank you, Ariel.
And I see my business opportunity team sitting here listening. So can you guys just go ahead and look into that, and I'll follow up with you as well.
Okay, so let me read that back. That's ARIELLE .Johnson @DetroitMI.gov.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yep, I will email you so you can look into that for me. Now, one more thing. Now, the portal and the online submission of my certification application to Clio. Is that to Creo? Are those two different things? Those are two different things, correct?
Yes. So are you talking about the you talking about Oracle and making bids and then the certification?
Yeah, yes, those two things are different, correct?
Correct. So
Yeah.
you would register with Mr. Jackson's team if you are trying to go to bid, and then you would apply for a certification on our website with Creo to get your certification.
Yeah, exactly.
I've completed the port. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly right. This is Boys again. So you would do that just as Area indicated. So the Oracle system is the system that handles bids. It's where our repository is on contracts. And thirdly, it's also the system that you submit your invoices to be paid. Okay, so that's the Oracle system. And as Ariel said, we have a separate system for certification. When you register with the city, that's also done in Oracle. We used to have a system called BidSync for your bids, but we've consolidated that under the one umbrella because we listen to a lot of you small businesses saying, I think it would be ideal one day if you could get everything under one system so it won't confuse a lot of the people. So that's why we took that path, okay?
Okay. Now, Ariel, when I contact you, can you check on the status of both my certification application through Creo and on the my company being registered through the Oracle? Can you check on both of those for me?
So I can absolutely connect you with Tony. We work closely with the Office of Contracting and Procurement, and so Tony will be able to help with that side, but we all work closely together. So yes, once you reach out to me, you'll be taken care of.
Okay, all right, real good. And last thing for me, the slides that everyone shared with us today, is there any way for us to get copies of those slides?
Good question.
Yes, we can.
You wanted a copy of the slides that was shown in the by Creo?
The copy of the slides that were shown today by the presenters today.
Absolutely, yes.
Before you leave, ma'am, this is Tony. May I have the name of your company?
M.A. Bailey, B-A-I-L-E-Y.
Thank you.
So how do we get a copy of those slides?
When you email me, I'll send them back to you. And then, and I also, yeah, we'll email them to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you and I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Do we have any additional callers waiting?
Madam President, we don't have anyone in the queue right now, but I will remind our callers that if you would like to raise your hand, you can press *9 and we will acknowledge you. And someone did respond to that, so let's see. We can bring this person online. We will call you off by the last 3 numbers of your telephone number. And right now I have caller 724. Caller 724, your audio is unmuted and you can speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Teresa Ford. My company is Ford LLC. And I would also like a copy of the slides because I registered in Oracle and I was having some issues with setting like the products that I have for the city, like the K95s and the N95 safety masks. And so I was having some issues adding those into the system and also having some issues seeing the bid that's available.
Okay, Tony, you want it?
Yes, you can email me, limit, LIMMITTL at detroitmi.gov. And we will make sure that IVA assists you so that you can see the bids and that you can put in your NIGP codes.
Okay, let me make sure I got that right. It's LIMMITTL at DetroitMI.gov.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Or you can call me. My number is 313-378-8362.
Okay, 313-378-8362. And I also was on the event yesterday, and I just wanted to thank you all. You gave out some great information, a lot for people to think about and a lot of opportunities. And I just wanted to thank you all for allowing the community to participate and to hear and see and actually answer people's questions like right back. So I was like, okay, because initially I thought, well, maybe it's pre-recorded, blah, blah, blah. But no, you were like all live and in color. So thank you.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the other side at 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for our who are on the line, if you would like to be able to ask our panel a question while we have the panel here, please press *9. We do have one person, and okay, this is a label I've never seen before. It's call in user 1. Call in user 1. You are unmuted.
My name is Michelle Evans. I'm wondering if I'm called in number 1.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know why I came in like that. Well, thank you for allowing me to ask the question. And I have enjoyed the information. Some of it went by real quick, and I wish I had some kind of brochure or pamphlet that some of the things that we spoke about yesterday that I wanted to make sure I got because it was going so fast, but I didn't get everything.
Let me just say that both Councilmember Ayers and myself will have the sessions repeated on our Facebook page.
And if you want anyone that is listening on the call, my email address is Councilmember Ayers, and that's AYERS at DetroitMI.gov. And if you email me, we can get you the copy of the PowerPoints from yesterday and today.
I would appreciate that. Also, I would like to know, how do you spell your name, Mr. Johnson? Boise?
It's B-O-Y-S-I-E, Jackson.
Okay. And do you have an email address? Is it at Boise Johnson?
Can you unmute Mr. Jackson, please?
Boise, you're unmuted.
Yes, it's Jackson, B-O, at DetroitMI.gov. And you got the phone number a few moments ago. Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the information that you all have. So my concern is your new business, and you just got certified as far as finishing your classes, and maybe you just now your startup business. You are accepting registrations for that situation also?
Yes, the Detroit startup designation is a new destination, new certification, excuse me, altogether, but you still can, submit bids and participate in any of the bid opportunities.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you. You all have a great day, and thank you all. And Brenda Jones, thank you again.
Thank you. And my email address also is bjones@detroitmi.gov. detroitmi.gov. Again, that's bjones@detroitmi.gov.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry?
I would urge any of our callers on the line, if you have a question for our panelists, please press *9. Now's the time to get your question in while you have them here.
And Stephen, if I could, I just wanted to let all of our callers know that were on the call yesterday that the videos from yesterday are posted on Council President's Facebook at Brenda Jones, as well as our digital outreach last week, where we had a wealth of information provided to the residents on COVID resources, from housing to meals, small business, stimulus dollars, etc. So you can go to Council President's Facebook, Brenda Jones, and you can see the meeting from yesterday.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes.
You're welcome. And you have a question in the queue.
Yes, ma'am, and I do see that question. That is from caller 931. Caller 931, you are unmuted.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, to Councilman Ayers, and to Boise Jackson, and to the purchasing organization. My name is Jock Mullins, and I'm with Ace Petroleum. And I would be remiss not to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for playing a major part in making it possible for us to be able to provide fuel to the city of Detroit. We are a startup company that will be celebrating our 3-year anniversary as of May 1. And you guys took a chance on us and made it possible for us to be able to serve the city that we love. And we certainly want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you.
I want to just comment on that one because I am so proud to have you as a business person in the city of Detroit, right there off of Southfield Freeway and 6 Mile, McNichols. I am so happy to have you doing business with the city of Detroit. I really took a personal interest in your business myself because you have done so much in the city of Detroit. The business at Ace Petroleum and the business over there, the things that you have done in the city of Detroit, and this was an opportunity that I'm glad you had an opportunity to get, because when we talk about people who try to do things downtown and they see that they can't get into business downtown and they say, well, it's more of the community than it is downtown, and they go into the community and they start investing into the community and then able to actually come back and do something good other than just investing in the community, but being able to be a petroleum company servicing the city of Detroit. I was just so happy to see that. And I am so thankful to you, Mr. Jackson, for working with Ace Petroleum and everyone else who's worked with Ace Petroleum. So thank you all at Ace Petroleum for everything that you do.
No, Madam Chairman, thank you so much. My company president and CEO, Moses Shepard, of course, is a staunch Detroiter. He believes in the city. 99.9% of our employees are Detroit-based and live in the city. And he just believes in growing his city. He champions a lot of causes for the city that he loves and owns. And he just wants to play a bigger part and to do whatever he can to help our city grow. And so we certainly appreciate everybody's efforts in helping us to be able to reach this milestone. Thank you so much.
We truly appreciate you all, as well as Mr. Shepard as well.
Yeah, to those of you, this is Boise, that are listening, and I certainly echo what President Jones saying. This company that was on is a testament on companies that don't mind challenging the norm. So any of you that are listening into this call today, this is a company, and I could cite many other examples, that came to the city and say, hey, look, administration, council, I want a chance. And I actually, when they came and approached us, I said, you sure you can compete and you can do the work and provide the services on time to do this? They said, give me a chance. So this is a testimony and with the support of council, and I want my hats off to them for supporting me and my team. And as we've been talking about giving small businesses a chance when they came forward. And again, I could probably spend an hour going through other instances, but this was one of the ones that, quite frankly, I looked them in the eye and said, hey guys, for you to want me to endorse or approach city council for me, you gotta have to be able to show me, talk to me, that you can do this job. And my hat's off to Ace for at least saying, okay, I'm gonna put a team together, I'm gonna hire the Detroiters, and I'm gonna come back to you in 6 months and tell you how I'm gonna do it. I said, okay, show me. And so all of you out there, use this as an example of what you can do, and don't be fearful of the giants that are in your space, okay?
That's right, Boise.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Do we have any other callers in queue?
That was a great story, Madam President. I don't see any other callers. I would remind callers that if you would like to ask our Director of Procurement, we've got Creo, who can help you with how you can create your business designation. I see we've got a caller who has pressed *9, Madam President. That is caller number 051. Those are the last 3 digits of your phone number. Caller 051, you are unmuted.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Council
Good
President Ayers,
afternoon.
and the rest of the team, Mr. Jackson. And I pay homage to all of you and the work that you're doing this evening to help small business, because I was just encouraged. I was not going to call, but what Mr. Jackson just said, I was encouraged. I am a mom and pop business. I'm sorry, Benita Reed, Diversified Packaging Supply Company, and we've had some ups and downs, and this COVID has really put us at a standstill. But a lot of the things that Amazon did is what we had been doing, and with delivery, sourcing products, and what have you. But we don't have the brick and mortar, the storefront. We were operating out of our home, and I was curious about what the gentleman who did the testimonial. I didn't catch his name about serving the city, and they gave him the chance. And then what Mr. Jackson said just encouraged me even more, because it's not that we couldn't do a larger order. It's just being able to, the turnaround, we were operating like a net 10, and being able to pay for the product. And from having like 5 employees at one time to now it's just me and my husband. And, it's a lot of changes. And I was just curious as to try to venture out. So I just want to say thank you for that. I am encouraged to try again and not to be fearful, but the question being brick and mortar, do I need to have that, or can I begin as a small order for procurement and just to see the capabilities? What was the requirement?
Let me touch base. This is Boise again. We encourage you to hire Detroiters. We encourage you to be located in Detroit. And we encourage you to take advantage of certifications like small business and otherwise. If you got a small business and you're operating out of the home, I ask that you get in touch with me so we can talk through it. But it still would not prohibit you from bidding on services. In many cases, I've seen where individuals get the contract, and once they get the contract, even if they weren't certified, but they're still in Detroit, they're still hiring Detroiters, they're able to then go rent a place to put their business at, okay? So
Okay.
I'm gonna suggest to you to strongly still, if you feel you got the expertise and the capability in any of the things that Tony Lament talked about today, or any of the others as a small business, bid on it. And then if you feel that you can do some of those other things, you do that. But we would certainly be willing to talk to you. But let's get in the bid pool first, okay? And get that done. So you don't know from now to next year, you might be able to do something greater, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
But you have to have, you have to have, let me just emphasize to you, even if you're home, you have to have an LLC. You got to be designated as a business. And I think you're familiar with limited liability corporation. That's the minimum you got to have. You can't be bid as a personal service contractor. You have to be bid as a business, a legitimate business in the city and the state. So where you're operating out of, you'll fill that out, and then me and Law and Creole will take it from there. But give yourself a chance, and as you said, think seriously about it. I'm appreciative that you're thinking seriously about it, and let's see what can be done. Okay.
On that note, I have some suppliers for instance, packaging products, tape, popcorn, whatever you would need. That's what we're specializing in, and we would have it drop shipped if it was, say, Ann Arbor or other locations, and if it was a large enough order. And so on that note, that's why I was saying we were able and had been able to do that. And my husband had a closed head injury, drunk driver, and it changed everything for us. But we have a smaller customer base and just other health challenges we're going through before this happened with COVID. But we were just trying to see, we got 2 kids from college. Neither of them have their license because of the insurance thing. But the thing that I was doing for the company and the other drivers that I had, pick up product, deliver in a truck, and be on time. Because your customers don't like it if you said you're going to be there yesterday. So, we're accustomed to doing the business, but I was just curious, because it's the city of Detroit, the volume that you would need. If I had, say, down in one of my suppliers is in Wixom, the other one's in further south. My point being, if I could, speaking about future growth, am I trying to, I don't want to grow too big, but if I could get a drop ship from the manufacturer or from the supplier that may be in the suburbs, that wouldn't be a problem for me to do business. I'm asking you if that's, you're not saying I don't have to source it from Detroit as long as I am on time with my delivery.
Yeah, let me just emphasize something. So we don't usually dictate the logistics and the where you get the product from, or you hire people to do the service. Okay.
Okay.
So it don't really matter to us if you're drop shipping it someplace, or if you're distributing it or getting the distribution someplace either. We don't get into that. We ask that you handle, and you got to manage your distribution, your logistics, your deliveries, as well as the people that work for you. We underscoring the word hire the charters, obviously, and make sure that you deliver on time, but we don't dictate the other piece. So that's your call, okay? When you submit a price to us, though, and I want to underscore this, and I will I'll be quiet. When you submit a price to that, your price should be inclusive of all in things that you have, because we don't want you to come back later and say, guess what, I got to add this transportation cost in, or this distribution cost in, and then you're getting into change order. So think through it well, all the steps in the process, and we know you're not doing it for free. Okay, the one thing that we hate is somebody try to low bid the job and ultimately they wind up can't do the job. And then me and city council are awarding the contract when we don't have a prayer that it's getting done. Because at that point, you're putting not only yourself in a bad situation, you're putting the Detroiters that's working for you in a bad situation because they don't have a prayer of succeeding there, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. And we will go to our next caller. Last 3 digits of your telephone number is 318. Caller 318, you are unmuted.
Good afternoon and good evening to Councilmember Ayers and Madam President Brenda Jones. This is Tim Drakeford, and good evening, Mr. Boise Jackson.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm currently working with Boise trying to reestablish my company as a demolition contractor, and he knows my circumstance, and I'm just trying to move forward and do some other things and provide more jobs for the citizens of the city of Detroit, as well as use my engineering and other talents to build some housing within the area where my family business has been for over at least 40 years plus. So he doesn't know the full magnification of the scope I'm redoing, but I'm trying to seek, indemnification or whatever. But what I'm trying to do is just get reestablished so I can move forward with my overall goals, which will help multiple people. Already we employ like 20 or 30 of the kids in the neighborhood on a temporary basis, but I would like to do a little bit greater than that and to get my other programs in order, like the MIOSHA, some junior engineering programs. But Mr. Jackson doesn't realize the scope of what I'm trying to do, but now I think this is an opportune time where my company and the other things that I'm trying to do will be a great benefit for the city. Because ultimately, I want to take the demolition company, put a non-healthcare clinic over in the area, and then open up a fruit market, which I'm working with another friend of mine in the neighborhood. As for demolition, just to repurpose everything. And I'm just seeking if I can move forward and get everything in line so once it's passed, we're full tilt and going 100%.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, how you doing, Tim?
How are you?
Good. Yeah, your situation is definitely under investigation, and I appreciate your willingness now to want to come back into the program. I've personally been looking at your situation, and I'm hoping that you will hear something very soon. I do encourage you to keep trying to do the things that you just articulated to reestablish yourself back in the city of Detroit. So I look forward to the upcoming meetings. Your letter you sent was very clear to me. So the demolition team is reviewing your situation here, even during the COVID-19 timeframe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Boise. And let's see, our next caller is caller number 830. Caller number 830, your phone is unmuted.
This is Mr. Wilson again. At the beginning of the call, I think I heard Councilmember Ayers say that she was at the State Fair, COVID-19 Ground Zero. I just wanted to commend you and let you and show you our appreciation for even being brave enough to go there and help those members, just not being able to, just not sitting in your living room and watching everything go by. You're out there on the front lines, and I just think that needs to be commended, and it needs to be known that you're out there on Ground Zero, making sure that our Detroiters are safe and getting the help that they need. So that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. And I have another unusual label for a caller. Call in user number 1. Call in user number 1. You are unmuted.
This is Michelle Evans again. This is that unusual number. I just would like to know, where would I go to see bids at? Are you able to go look at bids if you're not registered yet, or do you have to be?
Tony, you want to take that one?
Hold on, Keith. Hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
What she's asking is, where did she see bids, Tony? Can you give her that specific link, please?
Yes, you can see the bids at www.detroitmi.gov/supplier. And as soon as you pull up on the site, if you scroll down, it'll say open bids.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. And it looks as though that is all of the callers that we have in the queue. Questions or comments?
So if that is all of the callers we have in queue, I would again just like to take an opportunity to thank all of our panelists. Thank you again, Mr. Jackson. And I want to take an opportunity to thank you, Councilmember Ayers, and you, Mr. Jackson, for being out at the State Fair, participating and volunteering to assist in something that is very needed here with COVID-19. I am still quarantining myself, although my quarantine period is over. My 14 days is over, but I am still just experiencing a little shortness of breath. And so I am going to stay in until my shortness of breath has ended. And also, as we were on this call, we received that emergency alert from the governor who extended the stay at home until April the 30th. And so I just want to take an opportunity to ask everyone to please, please, please stay at home unless you have to go out for groceries, the pharmacy, or the things that are listed on the governor's executive order. If those are not things that you must go out for, please stay at home. Please keep yourself safe as well as someone else. You could possibly be saving someone else's life. You may not have symptoms of COVID-19, but you might be a carrier of COVID-19. And being a carrier, you could expose someone else to it because their immune system might be different from your immune system. So if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. Stay at home. If you are out, take the opportunity to wash your hands with warm water and soap as much as you possibly can. Do everything you can to keep your hands out of your face. It has been indicated that most people touch their face at least 20 times per hour. And Member Ayers is showing her mask. And one of the main reasons for the mask is to help you keep your hands out of your face. They have noted that the virus has been transmitted through your body from touching your nose, touching your mouth, rubbing your eye. Those are things that we find ourselves doing and not even realize we're doing it. If you are in no place where there is warm water, hot water, and soap, please have your hand sanitizer readily available so that you can use your hand sanitizer. It is so important that you practice social distancing. Please stay at least 6 feet away from the next person. Please, if you're out there, don't run up on a person. Practice staying 6 feet. We know that we're not used to that. We know we're used to embracing people or shaking hands or coming close to people, but we must, for our own safety and for their safety, practice social distancing. Please be careful. We want your business to strive and be strong, but at the same time, we need you to be careful with how you're out there and the things that you are doing. That's all for me, Councilmember Ayers.
So again, the same way that we started this, I think it's proper to end it by thanking you all that are here on the panel, and for everyone that called in. We appreciate you. We're doing it for you because it's going to take all of us together to get through this, and then for us to get over what's to come. But I do want to just remind each and every one of you that there is a day after this. And so we just use this time to be prepared, get ourselves together, collect all the resources, tap on us, whatever we can pour into you so that we're prepared for the day after this. You all are just great, and we appreciate everything that you're doing. We appreciate your business or your desire to do business with the city and in the city. And so with that being said, Council President, I think we covered all the bases. Oh, when we get off of this call, if you're coming for the 6 o'clock portion, they'll need to call back in, right?
Yes, so to our callers that are on for the startup assistance, we have business consultants, accounting, legal, and marketing and branding consulting. They will be on at 6, so you will need to call back in at 6. We're going to end this meeting.
And that number to call back is 1-312-626-6799. Again, that's 1-312-626-6799. And the meeting ID is 850-947-268. Again, the meetings are being recorded and they will be available on all of my social media sites and at detroitmi.gov/Brenda Jones within 1 week. Member Ayers, they will be on her social media and her Facebook as well. And that information is.
Yep, so actually it should be posted now on our Facebook page, but you can find me at Councilmember Janee, Janee. Last name is Ayers, Ayers. Also, if you go on the City of Detroit's website, if you click on City Council, you can click and find myself or from President Jones. And so anything that you need is there too. Our contact information, we are still checking voicemails, we are checking email. So if you need those PowerPoints, like I said, if you go there, you can get directly connected to us.
And if you have emailed me, please be patient. I will get back to you. We did a 2-hour prayer call today, and we have been working extremely hard again. And Councilmember Ayers is actually out at the State Fairground. So we're not just at home, not doing anything. We are working extremely hard to service you. So if you have emailed me, I've not forgotten about you. If you've emailed Councilmember Ayers and she have not gotten back with you, it's because we have been extremely busy, but we will be getting back with you. So again, thank you for joining. I want to again thank the staff of Councilmember Ayers as well as my staffs who have produced these meetings extremely well. And thanks to Creo who have been there to participate. And thank you to all of our panelists who have given great information today, yesterday, and we will continue to bring information to you. So thank you again. Thank you, Creo. Thank you, everyone. And we will talk to you at 6 p.m. This will be part 2.
Thank you. Trend Creative, I seen that you came in. Are you one of our technical providers for our panel for our 6 o'clock? Okay, I'm trying to unmute you to let you know we're going to end. We had a 4 o'clock portion.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're gonna stop this meeting, stop this recording, and start again. So if you can come back in about 5:50.
Okay, I'll do
Okay,
that.
and I see same for Laura as well. Is that okay for you as well, Laura?
Absolutely. I'm leaving now.
Okay, we'll see you at 5:50.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you.